What is up, my fellow firearms autists? Random Gun Tuber here, and I appreciate you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of my Taurus TX22 and my Ruger Mark IV. It is uncomfortably warm, sunny, summer's kicking off. I'm not having a good time, but hopefully you are. I hope you guys can appreciate how nerve-wracking that was when I was doing that in the intro. I was very close to shooting my phone, and that would have been really not awesome. So I hope you liked it. Alrighty, first things first. I have done a review on the TX22 on its own before. And disclosure, I did not pay for either of these guns. So I won the Taurus a couple years ago in a shooting competition. Shot it, did a review on it, great. I recently won this Mark IV in that same competition this year. And so anyway, I didn't pay for either one of these. This is purely just which gun do I like more. That said, the Taurus is about $350 neighborhood right now, last I checked. And I'm having a hard time finding this exact model of the Mark IV because a lot of their tactical versions have the top rail, but also a bottom rail, which mine doesn't have. So I'm not totally sure the SKU on this. That said, a lot of them are like the 600 to 650 range. So, you know, keep in mind that this gun is substantially almost double the price of this one as we're going through this. My original intention was to do an independent review of the Mark IV, just like I did for the Taurus. However, as I was shooting it, in my mind, I was constantly comparing it to the Taurus. So I was like, screw it, let's just do them together. So, or do a comparison, because that's what I was doing in my head the whole time. So anyway, obviously, basic 22 pistols. The Ruger has a single stack 10-round mag. The Taurus has a, I don't know, 1.5 double stack. I guess it's not really double, more like a 1.5 stack 17-round mag. This particular Mark IV has the Picatinny, so you can mount an optic to it. This Taurus does not have any optic mounts. However, you can buy versions that do have it. Triggers are both meh. They're fairly light, they're fairly crisp, but they both have some take up to them. You know, anyway, the sights on the Mark IV are not impressive, if you ask me. If you're going to buy this one, I would definitely plan on putting an optic on it. Pretty chunky sights there. No paint, no anything. Not a huge fan of these. Sorry, I'm dying today. As for the Taurus, we've got the 3 white dot, which is perfectly adequate by me. They're not anything fancy. They're not, was it iridium or anything? They're not raised suppressor sights or anything, but I've shot quite well with them. I actually hit a 140-yard shot with these a couple weeks ago messing around. So anyway, I do, obviously, for obvious reasons, prefer these sights on the Taurus. Adding on to that, the rear sights for both guns are adjustable. These models both have threaded muzzles, so you can add suppressors. A lot of times I'll run an A2 flash hider on this just because it's funny. It actually makes it smoke even more, but anyway, it's just funny. When you pick them up, there's an immediate difference. When you pick up the Ruger, the grip here is all polymer, but the barrel receiver combo here is very thick and it's steel. So you pick it up, there's immediate heft to this gun. Kind of a competition profile, heavier barrel. The Taurus, obviously the much smaller, thinner barrel inside with a traditional style slide, very light. Whether or not that makes a difference to you as far as just a regular 22, totally a preference, I guess, but it's when you pick them up, it's immediately noticeable. One difference that I noticed between the two guns that really surprised me, I did not anticipate, is that the Taurus is significantly easier to rack. So obviously, if I'm locked back, put a new mag in, I'll use the slide release the vast majority of the time. But you know, if I'm accidentally holding down the slide release as I'm shooting, it goes home. You know, pull the trigger, I get a click. Oh, I've got to reload off of a slide being forward. When I come over top, the Taurus, very easy to rack, just like any pistol, and even easier than a 9mm or 45 or anything. It's very easy to rack. one thing about the Mark IV that I had not anticipated is that, you know, same thing if I'm riding that release, is it is significantly harder to pull back. So if it's already cocked, it's not bad at all. A little bit harder than a Taurus, but you know, anybody could do it. But it takes substantially more force to get that back. And because this is all I have to grip onto here, this back here, because it's, you know, up in the receiver, it's more of a, it's not a traditional slide style, that's all I've got to hold on to. The Taurus, I just grab it and go. With this, it's really a 2-finger grip. So, you know, typically mag in over the top, go to work. With the Ruger, that's really hard to do off of this. And I don't know if I'm just a bit of a bitch, I don't know what's going on, but like this is really hard to do. So I pretty much always extend out, grab it like this, and push through that way to be able to get the force on that, which I don't know, maybe I'm just a pansy, I don't know, feel free to call me out on that, but that was really surprising to me. It's hard to do that quickly. Now, like I just mentioned, the Taurus, obviously, as it cycles, you have the entire slide moving like a traditional pistol. You know, like what we're used to seeing with SIGs, Glocks, Smith & Wesson, whatever. The whole slide moves, pretty typical. What I was told before I got the, before I shot this gun for the first time, before I shot the Ruger for the first time, is that because it's only the bolt moving, not the whole slide, or there is no slide, is that the Ruger actually should have very little recoil, should be a really nice shooter. And it's a 22, it's not a bad shooter, it does handle very well. However, in my opinion, and another guy I had shooting with me here a couple weeks ago, is we both agreed that the Taurus actually had noticeably less recoil. You know, maybe the bolt on the Ruger weighs more than the entire slide of the Taurus, I don't know, but very, very, I don't know, noticeable. There's a more intelligent word for that somewhere, but anyway, as far as a faster, you know, flatter gun, definitely to a Taurus there. And then the last thing that I'll speak to on the features for right now is the magazines. The Taurus is slightly easier to load, in my opinion. Not only that, but a 17 round capacity versus 10. It's been a long time since I've shot a gun with a 10 round capacity, and I forgot how much it sucked. It feels like you're constantly reloading. You know, if you live in California, Canada, whatever, sucks to suck, vote your representatives out. Anyway, it's fine. But for me, this is just so much more fun with the Taurus mag, being able to just mag dump, or even if I'm sitting there taking my time. If I'm taking my time, shot after shot for 17 rounds, you can sit there for a couple minutes having fun. The Ruger, you feel like you're just getting in the groove and it's time to reload. So, kind of nitpicky. Okay, fine, but 10 round mags suck. Come on, it's the 21st century here. Let's move on. So let's say that you're gonna put an optic on it anyway, so you don't care about the iron sights. You know, you're shooting at some indoor Plinkers range, Plinkers League, whatever, and so you don't care about shooting fast. All you care about is absolute pinpoint accuracy. Which gun's more accurate? I don't know, so we're gonna learn together. I've got some 10 rounds of Blazer loaded up into each gun. I've got a cardboard target down range, and we're about 25 yards. Yeah, 25 yards exactly, so let's see who wins. I forgot my usual rest at home, but I think I can make it work. Enough to get the point across. Slide did not lock back on that one, and I know for a fact I was not riding the release because my thumb was up here on the safety, so just keep that in mind. Anywho, here's our target. like I said, about 25 yards away. This is the Taurus group right here and the Ruger right here. Obviously, a little bit hard to see with those pistol iron sights at this range, but you know, if you can blame me, blame the gun, whatever you want. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I thought I shot 10. I don't know how I could have possibly missed that, so maybe I just miscounted there. I don't know. Anyway, vertical spread 3-4 inches probably. Ruger over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's stacked. 10 there. Pretty similar, really. I mean, whatever. A better shot than me could probably bring these in. If you had a red dot or something, that'd definitely help. This was a little bit harder to see than I had anticipated, but that said, I have pretty good eyes, so take it for what you want. In conclusion, Ruger Mark IV, Taurus TX22. Overall, I think that the Taurus is just objectively the better gun. You know, features-wise, the weight, the iron sights, the trigger, I would say a little bit. Overall, the Taurus is just the better gun in my estimation. As you saw in the intro, as well as one other time, I have had this gun jam really no more than rounds that I put through it. The Taurus has been extremely reliable. You consider the fact that my head's crooked. Sorry, I look stupid. If you consider the fact that the Taurus is, you know, easily $200-300 cheaper than the Ruger, I don't see any way you can really justify the Ruger. If I'd never shot the Taurus before, if it was just the Ruger, this gun is fun. It is fairly reliable. You know, you can put an optic on it, you'd have a lot of fun with it. If you like it, go for it. I'm not stopping you. That said, you put the two side by side, I find it really hard to argue that the Taurus is not the better gun here. So anyway, agree with me or don't. I'll see you guys in the next video.